I'm Money with Mark, and I filed my taxes 4 times so that you don't have to. And if it sounds like the headache that you think it is, trust me, it was. Let's get into it. I used the 4 biggest ways that people file their taxes in Canada and compared the returns that I got on all of them. I got an actual tax accountant from H&R Block to do my taxes. I used UFile, and then I used TurboTax, which is from QuickBooks Intuit. And then I also used Wealthsimple Tax, which is a new tax software available to Canadians. Now, I started filing my taxes with TurboTax, and when I went into it, I actually couldn't get my taxes filed. It was great that they had like a mobile app and you could do it on your laptop, but I seemed to get into this loop where every time I would try to set up and just start my tax filing with them, the buttons would not work. I just couldn't click on them. So right off the bat, TurboTax is out the window, because if you can't use it, I'm not gonna bother spending hours on customer support just to try to get their tax return done. Then I went and used UFile. I've been using UFile to file most of my tax returns, and it's not the easiest to use software, and it doesn't look that great, it doesn't flow very well either, but it is very reliable. It pulls in your returns from last year, any unused contribution rooms that you have, and it even has a way for you to auto-populate some of your data from the CRA. But it does not have a mobile app and costs you about 20 bucks to file your return. Overall, I would give UFile a 3 out of 5 stars on the just ability to use their app and their price. And in total, my return with UFile was $3,774. And then I went to Wealthsimple Tax, which is a brand new tax software that just launched a couple years ago. And right off the bat, I knew Wealthsimple was gonna have a very user-friendly product, and they did not disappoint. Wealthsimple was hands down the easiest tax software that I've used ever, and they made it super easy for you to auto-populate all of your T4 data from connecting your CRA account. Plus, you can even pull in your investment documents from the Wealthsimple app right into your Wealthsimple taxes, which makes it very easy to file your returns. And Wealthsimple Tax has what all the other tax softwares do too, which is automatic filing with the CRA. And Wealthsimple Tax even has a mobile app for you to file your taxes with, which is more than UFile, which has been around for much longer. But the one thing I was curious about is how well is the actual tax accountant going to compare to these free or cheap to use tax software. Overall, my return with Wealthsimple ended up working out to be $3,775. It was about 50 cents more than UFile, and to be honest, I have no idea why. I put in the exact same information. However, maybe because I use the auto-populate with Wealthsimple, but I didn't use auto-populate for UFile, perhaps there's a mistake in it somewhere. So maybe that's one of the downsides of having to manually type in all of your numbers with a software like UFile if you don't use their auto-populate feature. But the big bonus of Wealthsimple Tax is that it's actually free to use, but they do recommend that you donate to them. If you are finding this Canadian personal finance content useful, then please hit the subscribe button down below and you can get more Money with Mark videos just like this one. Now, time for the tax accountant specialist from H&R Block. Now, I gave over to H&R Block all of the exact same data that I sent to Wealthsimple Tax and UFile. And I have not got my return back yet, and I have also not got any communication on whether or not I should contribute to my RRSP, which, if you use Wealthsimple Tax, one of the things I loved about Wealthsimple Tax is they have an RRSP contribution calculator, which shows you instantly how much your return would increase depending on how much you contribute to your RRSP. And I think that's an awesome feature that I have not seen with any other tax software. And I also did not get that advice from the actual tax accountant, at least not yet. I also have not got my return back from the actual tax accountant yet. So let's assume that it is roughly the same as UFile or Wealthsimple. Unfortunately, I have to pay 600 bucks in order to get them to do it. So overall, they would have to have my return increase by at least $600 in order to make it worth it. And considering it's almost March 1st, which is the deadline for RRSP contributions, I don't think they're gonna be able to line up a bigger return than what I'm getting with these free or cheap tax filing softwares. At least not in time for the contribution deadline with your RRSP. And obviously with an actual tax accountant, you really don't know a lot of things that are happening. I don't know if there's a mobile app to check on my return. I don't really get much communication as far as like things I can do to improve my taxes. And that's one thing I love about Wealthsimple Tax is that they have a lot of recommendations and suggestions for you to improve your tax return. If not for this year, something for you to keep in mind for next year. So the best tax software in Canada, in my opinion, is going to be Wealthsimple Tax. And if you want to use it, you can sign up using my link down below in this description. And I like Wealthsimple Tax because it was the easiest interface for me to use. It gave me amazing, easy to understand calculations like the RSP contribution amount. And it allowed me to instantly see my return as I was filling out my taxes, giving me that data and instant feedback on what sort of activities improve my return the most. That's why I'm choosing Wealthsimple Tax. I did it last year and I'm doing it again this year. They are my official tax filing service that I'm using. So did I miss any other software? What do you think could get me a better tax return? Let me know down in the comments and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.